Why hello there, Space Cadets. Right now, I don't have the ambient space lighting, and that's because I have something to show you. Exhibit A. I thought it would be better if I just showed you the scene instead of trying to reference it, but that is Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid in the Dog Days edition of the film, which isn't my favorite. It's definitely Roderick Rules, because Roderick rules. The reason why I share that is because recently I've noticed that I stopped hesitating, I've stopped watering myself down, and the best way I can describe what it feels like is very much like that, where it's like, we need to crank it up, we need to go full savvy. And now I'm just full savvy all the time, and I'm seeing how so much less exhausting it is to not have to take off the persona you're wearing all the time. Which I know should be obvious, but it is very hard when you're not aware of when you're doing it. I'm so used to enduring people, but now I don't do that anymore. Now I'm just like, you get me as I am, and if that isn't what you want, then we don't have to endure each other. And not to be all negative or anything, because I'm not saying I'm enduring the world, because no, I am. Let's just say those Christmas cookies aren't just feeding Santa, they're feeding my soul. And I'm not talking about consuming physically, I'm saying I went for a walk just a couple minutes ago. I came back from a walk, and there's something really, really awesome about Christmas that I don't think anyone really talks about much, which is how silent and empty it gets very quickly. You'll just notice that the world is just so gone, and it's because everyone's in their homes enjoying their little lives. And I'm like, eee! Even though I don't celebrate Christmas personally, it's so fun to see other people be in their own little worlds and to make things and all the lights. I freaking love lights. Fun fact about me, I am very much like a moth, because I'm so drawn to very specific kind of lights, not fluorescent lights. I had an ordeal with fluorescent lights yesterday, and I was not enjoying that ordeal, but I survived. We continue, we persist throughout the world and its challenges. But when you're walking alone and when you're observing all the houses around you and smelling all the smells, I smell so much cooking, I smell so much, it just smells warm. That mixed with the air and the coolness of everything, like I can hear the wind, that's how intense it was. There was acorns falling from the tree. I was having to go like this to not get hit by them. It was spectacular. And besides all of that, I've been reflecting a bunch. I'm always kind of reflecting. I've really shifted from seeing myself as someone who's healing to being someone who just lives, which is a very, like, it's so weird how quickly it just seems like now I feel very like, I feel like a child who's like interacting with the world again, and everything is so interesting. I'm so excited to learn more about biology and math. Me and math, I've been fantasizing about math. I've been fantasizing about understanding math, and I've also been fantasizing about programming. Programming was a really big interest I got into when I was 13, and recently I have been wanting to solve puzzles. I have been wanting that, to scratch that little brain piece of me that's like, I need to do something, I need to be challenged, because if I'm not challenged, then there's like just free reign on this world, and it's kind of like, something that has been challenging is like weighing in like all the possibilities now that I'm not chained by the roles that I've been put in, now that my shackles of my mentality are gone. Now I'm like, I can just pretty much think and do whatever I want, which is super empowering, but it's also like, we all know how the quote goes, with great power comes great style. This turn look is not even mine, but it's gotten a vibe in me right now where I'm just feeling very, I'm so full of myself today. So that's what I'm talking about. That's why I started off that clip with full savvy mode, because that's where we're at. I was thinking about programming again, and I was like, I made a song that I really like, and the song reminds me of the kind of thing that you would hear in the beginning of a video game that you're playing, like before the title text, the title screen and stuff, before you click play, credits and all that stuff. It clicked in me. I originally wanted my project to be represented by a game, but a big reason why I didn't get into doing that is because of having school and work to think about. So I put two and two together. I was like, I want the puzzle of programming. I've been wanting to have a game anyway, and now I have the concept so much more fully expressed that listening to it is already a game in itself. It's an alternate reality game. That's as much as I'm going to say, because, like I said, there's secrets, there's lore to be dropped. It's not here yet, and I want it to be... that's a whole other world, okay? But I want a game, and I clicked that I can make the music for the game, because I already do make music on my own, and I can make the visuals because I already make the visuals. The only thing I can't do, because I haven't done it before or learned how to do it before, is actually the mechanics of crafting a game, which for some cases involves a lot of programming, which in my case I want it to. I want that challenge. I want to be frustrated. If I don't get frustrated with something, the hard thing about this is that before I had this realization, I was feeling a bit vacant. I was feeling a bit like that same feeling of like, did I make the mistake again? Because I need to be challenged. I need to have outside things to spark my mind, even if I'm in full creative mode and I have so many things to get done that I like doing. It can be, there's still like a piece of my brain that just needs stimulation like that. Now we've got our thing, and now I am so fulfilled. Now, like, I've been noticing how recently the days seem to go by faster. Like, I sleep, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I go back to sleep again. But the reason why isn't because I'm in this like rut or like routine that makes me really depressed. It's actually the opposite, where it's like I kind of dread sleeping. I dread doing the things that I have to do to maintain survival like that, because I'm so in love with life. I'm so in love with living it every single second that any moment I have to like sleep and stuff, I still sleep because that's important, but I do it with such excitement of looking forward to waking up. And it's been like that for so long. As a person who spent so much of their life being depressed, do you know what that's just that in itself is so awesome, and just so like there's hope out there, and that's really what I want to portray. And that's why I'm talking about this now, is because I don't know anything about computers. I'm not updated with technology that well at all. In fact, quite the opposite. I have a very rough relationship with technology, in that I kind of make it go a little haywire. I have that phenomenon that many people get, where things will just die around me, or things malfunction a lot. My mere presence near a machine can make it not function in the way, and this is a pattern I've seen in various pieces of life. And I'll always ask, is this a common phenomenon with this machine? And then they'll be like, oh no, usually it doesn't happen like this. So then I step away, because I already know the solution is to leave, and then it gets solved. That's something I would like to talk about another time, a lot more in depth, because I know that there's a whole community of people who go through this, and it's not just in my head, and sometimes it can feel like that. That just puts you into perspective, the kind of relationship I have with computers. And I'm still going to embark upon this adventure. I'm still going to create it. I'm still going to try. And I really am excited to put that out there into this world, to share that. Just yesterday, I had put two and two together. I opened a kaleidoscope, a realm of being that I'm so happy to have done, because I have a much more accessible way for people to actually be a part of it and to really understand all of it, because it is super complicated, it's super dense. This is for the neurodivergent people. This is for those people who want to have something to hyperfixate on. The details are precise. This has been a story that's been building in my brain for over a year now, with songs that I've been working on for quite a while. and lyrics and characters, and I've just been building this world so much, this world that I'm super excited to share to the world I'm in right now. So on my walk, I was thinking about how funny it is that a big thing about being a young adult is that older adults will tell you all the time how young you are and how much time you've got to figure it out and all of that stuff. But then they also kind of expect so much of you. They're like, you should do this and go this path and follow this way, and if you don't, then you're kind of a detriment to society and also a failure, and also you probably don't deserve to live. Okay, I don't know about the last part. The last part was kind of extreme. But there is this weird, like, polarizing experience of early adulthood that is very strange, especially when you are going the alternate routes of existence. And I bring that up because throughout my reflection, throughout the different things I think about, one thing is that I do really want dorm life. I do really want to be in a really good university, and I really want to have that experience of being challenged and have a social sphere like that where I can be around other people who are multifaceted and very complex and just all these different, like, who work really, really hard. But while I don't have that right now, ultimately what I know that I seek is community. And I feel like it is such a gift to be able to build that. And I'm really grateful for the life that I've been living, because if I hadn't lived it this way, I wouldn't have the tools and the heart and everything that I've gone through to have the mindset of where I am in this world right now, where maybe there is another universe. I do think about alternate universes all the time, like, what does AU Savvy look like? And last night I was thinking about the version of me who did have her interests and passions in programming be a lot more honored and nourished, because a really big thing is that I was learning how to program on a Chromebook at school, and I would get in trouble about that because they'd be like, you're not doing the assignments, and I'd be like, I already did the assignments, I'm doing this because I'm so bored in your class. A version of the world where if they saw that and they're like, hey, you're really good at this thing, or you really like this thing, and it really tickles your brain, and even though you may not be good at all these other different brains, you have something that no one else really has right now. You know, it's hard to not think about the kind of future you would have as a kid when you go through things like that, when you're so silenced and when you're so taken back from a lot of resources that you see other people have. All of that, I think about that a lot, where I'm like, what does that version look like? The version of her that got to go to a really nice school and got to be around an environment of adults who respected her capacity. And while it is fun to, like, fantasize about that and to go wild with it, I think a really strong thing, and the biggest thing that I take away from this at the end of the day, is that she may exist, but who I really love right now, who I am, is what I have strived for. Like, I can't negate that at all. I can't be like, oh, who am I, a failure by society's standards? No, I love my perspective. I love the view I have on the world, and I love the life that I'm in. And the things that I've learned are so valuable, and I get to choose what I learn from them. Maybe this other version of me didn't get to have. Maybe she's still living by the rules, and maybe she never got diagnosed. There's so many different ways to think about what your life could be. Are you living the one that you want to live right now? If so, more power to you. And if you're not, then think about those other variations of life that you could want, and think about all the small ways you can get to there, just like I have. Keep trying, keep going. As somebody who has experienced hopelessness all too well, I still have this major optimism in me, and I'm still so happy for life. Sometimes it feels like things are very vacant and empty, and you're just like, well, I have what I want, but now I don't know where to go from here. And you never know when an inspiration or a memory or something will strike, and you'll realize that there's a whole other avenue that you get to explore, just like I'm exploring right now. Keep seeking, keep daydreaming, keep reflecting, keep living your life in the moment that it is. Enjoy the air, enjoy the smells, enjoy the people you're around, and you know, we're not here forever. So if there's anything I want to put into this world, or that I would like anyone to take away, it's whatever the heck all of that was. Whoever you are, go full diaper. I dare you, because the world needs that. And I know I sound very like motivational speaker-esque and stuff, but hey, it's not my fault I like motivating. Peace out, Space Cadets.